Welcome to the Digital Edge.
Great to be here.
We've got some really fascinating AI developments to talk about today. You sent over a bunch of info highlighting recent breakthroughs.
Yeah, some really interesting stuff from OpenAI, Google, Cohere, Microsoft. It feels like things are moving fast.
Definitely. And what we want to unpack today is how AI seems to be, well, evolving, moving towards deeper thinking, maybe even something like having its own mind.
Yeah.
Exploring that idea.
Exactly. It's less about just processing data and more about reasoning, planning, acting almost autonomously.
Okay, let's start with OpenAI then. They've got O3 and O4 Mini. What's the big deal here? Is it just faster?
Well, faster, yes, but it's more about the reasoning. O3 especially is trained for deeper thinking.
Deeper thinking how?
It can combine different tools like web search, running Python code, analyzing files strategically, and it decides when to use each tool itself.
Oh, so it's not just us telling it, go search this. It figures it out.
Right. Autonomously to answer complex questions. And it does it quickly, often, under a minute for detailed answers.
That sounds different,
Yeah.
more independent.
It is. It's a step towards AI that can genuinely investigate and solve problems on its own initiative.
And the performance. I saw some numbers on tough math problems, AU.
Yeah, pretty striking. O4 Mini, the smaller one, got near perfect scores on AE when it used Python.
Near perfect. Wow.
And O3 is right up there too. Huge scores on coding benchmarks as well. It suggests a serious level of logical and computational ability.
So it's not just small improvements.
No, definitely not marginal gains. We're seeing big jumps in handling PhD-level science, deep research. And O3 actually makes about 20% fewer major errors than their previous O1 model.
Better reasoning, fewer mistakes. Makes sense.
Mm.
Is it just text and numbers? What about images?
That's another big leap. Visual perception is way up. O3 is much better at understanding complex images, charts, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And this visual understanding ties into what they call wild agentic capabilities.
Wild. What does that mean in practice?
Okay, so imagine asking, what's the typical summer energy use trend in California? The AI might autonomously search the web, find some data, write and run Python code to analyze it, generate a graph.
It does all that sequence itself.
Yes, and then explain the factors influencing the trend. It can even loop back, refine its search if the first results aren't great, pivot based on new info. It can even work with images, like rotating or zooming in to understand them better.
That really does sound like it's thinking through a problem, not just retrieving facts, almost like it has a plan.
It's that orchestration of complex tasks, that autonomy that hints at this more independent operation, more like, well, a mind at work.
And they're working on safety alongside this.
Absolutely. Scaled up safety training, new ways to monitor the AI's reasoning for potential issues. It's crucial as the models get more capable.
Makes sense. And these are rolling out.
Yeah, to various ChatGPT tiers, Plus, Pro, Team, Enterprise, A2, even the free tier gets some access, and APIs for developers.
Okay, let's switch gears. Google. Gemini 2.5 Flash. Their angle seems to be controlling the thinking, a thinking budget.
Yeah, it's a really interesting concept. The idea is that deep reasoning takes more compute power, which means more time and, frankly, more cost.
Right. The heavy lifting isn't free.
Exactly. So Gemini 2.5 Flash lets you kind of dial in the amount of reasoning tokens, the cognitive effort you want the AI to use.
So you can choose. Quick and cheat for simple stuff, more thinking for complex tasks.
Precisely. They're quite transparent about this cost difference. Like, it's much cheaper per million tokens if it's just generating output versus if it needs that thinking phase for a complex request.
Can you actually see it thinking?
In their AI Studio interface, apparently you can get a peek at the internal thoughts. Not in the API yet, but it shows the process.
Huh. And how does it perform? Still powerful.
Oh, yeah. It does really well on tough benchmarks, like one called Humanity's Last Exam, and technical ones like GPQA Diamond and Math, too. It holds its own, maybe slightly behind O4 Mini in some areas, but very strong.
So Google's play is value and predictability, especially for businesses.
Seems like it. Balancing speed, cost, and performance, giving enterprises more control over their AI spending. It's available in preview now.
Interesting contrast to OpenAI's push for maximum capability.
Right.
Now, what about Cohere? And Embed 4 sounds different again, more about understanding data for AI agents.
Exactly right. Think of Embed 4 as a super smart search engine designed specifically for these AI agents we're talking about.
That makes it super smart.
Its big thing is handling large documents up to 128,000 tokens, maybe 200 pages, without needing to chop them up first.
Why is that important?
It means the AI can grasp the full context of, say, a long report or complex research paper. That's vital for sophisticated reasoning. You lose nuance if you just feed it little chunks.
Ah, okay. Better understanding leads to better reasoning down the line.
Precisely. Plus, it's multilingual, handles over 100 languages, and it's tuned for regulated fields like finance and healthcare. It also deals well with noisy, real-world data scan docs, handwriting, stuff like that. Reduces the cleanup needed.
Sounds very practical for building capable agents. Any proof it works.
Yeah, early users reported significant accuracy boosts in things like candidate searching and product searching. And it uses compressed data, saving storage space too.
So, better understanding, more efficient.
Yeah.
Got it. Lastly, Microsoft. Copilot Vision is now free in the Edge browser.
Yes, this is about bringing visual understanding to everyone.
So the AI can see what's on my screen in the browser.
Essentially, yeah. You can use the mic icon, point Copilot at web content, Amazon pages, Wikipedia, whatever, and ask it questions about what it sees.
What kind of questions?
Like summarize this product's features or explain this diagram. It analyzes the visual content. There are limits, of course, like on paywalled sites, and it's opt-in for privacy.
But having an AI that sees free in the browser,
Yeah.
that feels like a big step for everyday use.
It is. It makes multimodal interaction combining text, voice, images much more accessible. It's another piece of the puzzle, making AI interaction more seamless and intuitive.
So putting all this together, OpenAI's reasoning and autonomy, Google's controlled thinking, Cohere's deep understanding, Microsoft's visual access. What's the big picture?
It feels like a convergence. We're seeing AI develop enhanced reasoning, more autonomous action, better ways to manage the cost of thinking, and improve perception of the world through vision and better data understanding.
All pushing towards AI that can operate more independently, more intelligently.
That's the direction, definitely. Less direct human hand-holding needed for increasingly complex tasks. These pieces are building towards something that feels closer to, well, that idea of an AI mind.
It really does raise some fascinating questions, doesn't it? We're moving beyond just processing. What stands out to you as the most significant shift here? What possibilities or maybe concerns do these more thoughtful AI models bring to mind?
Those are the big questions we all need to grapple with as this technology surges forward. The implications are huge.
Absolutely. Well, this has been a fascinating look at the cutting edge of AI. We hope this overview has given you plenty to think about.
Definitely a lot happening.
Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time on The Digital Edge.